Men, you are good men. Your instinct is to be honest, transparent, and open with the woman you love. You believe in the mantra, total honesty is the foundation of a good marriage. But what happens when your honest efforts, your vulnerabilities, your past mistakes, your genuine feelings are not met with acceptance, but with ammunition? I am here to tell you a difficult truth that most relationship experts avoid. You cannot trust your wife with the full extent of your truth. And in many cases, a good man should not be completely honest with his wife. I am not condoning lying. I am helping you understand that many women are simply not emotionally mature enough to handle the responsibility of knowing the full truth, and they will weaponize it against you. This is about protecting your sanity, your dignity, and your masculine core. If you've ever had your honesty thrown back in your face, please hit that like button now. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? And please subscribe to join a community dedicated to male self-preservation. The myth you are constantly gaslit into believing is that you must be completely transparent about every deep thought, fear, and past error. The health critical truth is we are wired differently and we often live in two different emotional realities. You are wired for transparency to fix and connect. She is often wired to use information to gain leverage and control. A good man must see the reality of his wife's emotional maturity and understand the dynamics in his marriage so that he is not constantly duped by the demand for total transparency. The female defense. For many women, their lack of emotional maturity means they cannot process difficult truths constructively. They default to self-protection and externalizing blame. The protective mechanism. If you are withholding a past mistake or a current feeling, it is often a protective mechanism, a way to safeguard your heart from her guaranteed weaponization. It is not a malicious path to hurt her. Biologically, when a man shares vulnerability and it's met with attack, his brain registers it as a high-risk failure, leading to increased cortisol and subsequent withdrawal. Hiding becomes a survival tactic, not a moral flaw. Emotionally, her inability to handle the truth forces you into a state of hiding, which destroys intimacy, but saves your dignity from constant attack. In my 5 years, I have repeatedly seen good men, kind, honest men, be brought to their knees by a truth that their wife simply could not handle. My own husband, an oversharer by nature, has had to learn boundaries, not because he is dishonest, but because I, as a woman, was not always mature enough to manage the information he gave me. We must embrace our differences. As women, we need to get out of the fantasy that we need to know every single thing. As men, you must understand that sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself and the relationship is to self-regulate what you share. 5. The twist. Weave your truth into our victim story. The problem, we pretend to be okay with a truth you share, e.g., you don't enjoy visiting her family often, but then we secretly use it to confirm our self-pity, blaming you for why we are so miserable in the marriage. The mechanism, she plays the happy pet, shoving down her true feeling, but then tells herself, see, he doesn't care about my family. That's why I'm so unhappy. She uses your honest preference as a constant internal wall of blame. Practically, you are blindsided when the true issue, family event attendance, becomes a secret, chronic source of marital unhappiness. This next one attacks your character. 4. Telling the truth makes you a liar in her eyes. The problem? You hide a smaller truth, e.g., you said you had a business trip but went fishing, to avoid her emotional reaction. You then feel guilty and tell the actual truth. Instead of praising your honesty, she attacks the initial lie. The mechanism. She says, you are a total liar. What else are you lying to me about? She focuses exclusively on the momentary lapse in judgment, not the subsequent act of integrity. Practically, she punishes your honesty. This teaches you that the most dangerous time to be vulnerable is immediately following a mistake. 3. The conflation, associating unrelated issues. The problem. We take a small mistake or past fact and blow it up, conflating it with a totally separate, larger issue to destroy trust. The mechanism. If you admit to hiding Oreos from her strict diet regime, she shouts, If you're lying and hiding food, how can I trust you with the finances? What else are you hiding? If you mention a past mistake, like visiting a strip club before you met her, she asks, how do I know you're not cheating on me now? Practically, she denies you the right to have a private, individual past or to be a capable adult with minor, separate flaws. Your life becomes one giant, untrustworthy narrative. This reason attacks your ability to solve problems. 2. Perceiving honesty as a personal attack. The problem: when you share a challenge in the marriage, e.g., I feel like you don't listen to me when I share my feelings, she perceives it as an attack on her character. The mechanism: she flips into crazy-making mode. Instead of discussing the behavior, she takes it as, you are saying I am defective and wrong, and turns the issue back onto your need to change. Practically, your honest attempt at problem-solving results in being gaslit, focusing on your flaws, and ultimately strengthening the very problem you were trying to solve, her inability to hear you. 1. Weaponizing vulnerability and past mistakes. The problem: women store a good man's deepest truths and vulnerabilities, especially about past mistakes, career fears, or difficult feelings, and use them as ammunition in future arguments. The mechanism: you share a past mistake you made before you even met her, thinking it's a safe space. Years later, during a heated argument, she throws it back in your face. That just shows you can't be trusted. Look at what you did in 2005. Emotionally, this is the ultimate betrayal. It teaches you that your heart is safer kept locked away than shared with your partner. Her power to hurt you increases directly in proportion to your willingness to be vulnerable. Your integrity matters, but you must distinguish between being honest and being emotionally self-destructive. 1. The principle of prudent disclosure. The plan: share facts that are necessary for the functional marriage, finances, schedule, health. Do not share truths that are only necessary for her to gain leverage. Past relationships, deep insecurities, mild preferences, she will twist. The rule: before sharing a difficult truth or vulnerability, ask yourself, is this information essential for the marriage, or is it fodder for her victim story and weaponization? The goal: protect your inner world. If it's not essential, take it to a trustworthy male mentor or friend. 2. Refuse to engage the flip. The plan: when you share a truth and she tries to flip it back onto you as a personal attack, immediately and calmly stop the conversation. The script: I shared that with you to resolve an issue. If you are going to take it as a personal attack, the conversation is over. I am stepping away until we can discuss the behavior, not my character. The goal: you refuse to be gaslit. You draw a firm boundary, teaching her that her crazy-making mode will result in isolation, not control. 3. Embrace private growth. The plan: work on your deeper issues and past mistakes in private through counseling, coaching, or self-improvement without reporting every step to her. The action: your wife does not need to know the daily fears you discuss with your therapist. She needs to see the results of your strength and growth, not the painful process. The emotional impact: you gain strength and self-respect, and you show up as a stable man, which is what she actually wants, even if her words demand your weakness. You are a good man who simply desires an honest, loving partnership. The fault lies not in your desire for truth, but in her immaturity. You have the right to be